Hi everybody, welcome back to Willie's American Guitars. I'm over here in this corner with a Carr Super Bee. Now the Super Bee is kind of cool because it has this switch that will allow this to go down to only 2 watts. It goes from 0 watts up to 2 watts. I'm going to turn this to about a 1 watt. You flip this switch and you're at 10 watts, right? So that is the Super Bee, and it's set up right now at 1 watt. This is a 1966 Mustang we just get in. I'm going to do a quick video for you on a couple of student model guitars that have become really hip over the years. The Mustang first came out in 1965. So there is no pre-CBS Mustangs, but this is as close as you'll get to pre-CBS. 66, they still use Brazilian rosewood boards. 66, you still have the gold logo. They went to black logo late in 1968. So it's only 65, 6, 7, and half of 68. You'd get a gold logo. They also have the nickel-plated tuners, single string tree, which went until 72. The Mustang lasted a little later than that. And then these kind of nifty lower output pickups, and Fender did that. They're kind of Strat pickups hidden underneath there. They didn't want to really make a model that was too close to the Strat in output. The cool thing is that it's on. These little switches are 3 ways, right? So it's on, off, on. And what it does with the second on is reverse the wires so you get this out of phase sound. That out of phase sound you can hear in a lot of R&B records, that really thin sound. But if they're both in the same direction, you get both pickups on. You can turn off the neck pickup by going to the middle. Or you can turn both pickups off, and that's all you got, right? Another thing about this is that these earlier ones don't have the tummy cut. If you look at a lot of later ones, they have the ones CBS took them really over. They started doing a tummy cut and an arm cut on these guitars. So these earlier slab bodies are really worth more. They're worth looking at. And there is the racing stripe ones, which are popular. They have that kind of racing, that tummy cut and arm cut here like a Stratocaster does. These are also Dakota red. So if this color, stop sign red, is Dakota red, if this color was on a Stratocaster from the same year, it would be hugely expensive as a custom color, but this was the standard color. These always came in red, white, and blue in the 60s. That was their theme. And I don't need to tell you guys how many people ended up playing these because these were kind of bargain basement guitars, but with a Brazilian rosewood board, a bigger neck. Last thing about these, they made 2 models of the Mustang. They made one that had a 5/8 neck. It's a little bit shorter scale length than a Strat or a Tele, so the neck feels a little small. Then they made a 3/4 neck, which is even smaller. The nut comes to about here. The nut width is smaller. The scale length is shorter. So instead of 5/8, these are 3/8. This is the longer scale length. A lot of fun. This is clean, original, lacquer finish. Again, lacquer on Fenders until 1968. Comes in a neat brown case too. Then, the other student guitar from Gibson, and this is the first year for this one, is these single cut Melody Makers. And the Melody Maker was made as a student guitar. These early models in the single cut had a fatter pickup. It is 5/8 of an inch wide. So you can measure that on your guitar at home. That's closer to a P90 in output. You get a little more power out of that pickup. Then later they had a pickup that's about the width of a finger. It's a smaller size, but these fat pickup Melody Makers, single cut only, from the first 2 years they came out, these are a big deal. You can hear, compared to the single coil Fender, this single coil Gibson really has a lot more teeth to it and a lot more bite. old enough to remember when Les Paul Juniors were like a secret. Like, have you ever tried a Les Paul Junior? No, dude, they're really like, they sound fantastic and they're cheap. You can buy them for, you know, $500. These are kind of in that zone. Thick Brazilian rosewood board, a big fat neck, much bigger than you'd find, and a standard scale length on these. They did make these in 3/4 sizes, but really a standard neck. And then these bridges are the same thing you'd put on a junior. These days, these bridges are $600-700 just for the bridge. The knobs themselves have always been rated. They're $50 to $100 each for the knobs because they would go on your more expensive guitar and raise the value of that guitar. So finding one of these that is unmolested or not robbed of its parts, that's a big deal. A lot of people then would cut these out, like Joan Jett, our buddy Joan Jett, would put a humbucker in her Melody Makers. Why? Because the necks were fantastic. Nice, simple guitar, really good ring, old mahogany, one sheet mahogany, and the type of wood you just can't buy anymore. You can't get it. Even the big manufacturers can't get this ancient mahogany that is now dried, what, 60 years? Talk about aging. And a solid mahogany neck. It's all about the wood, baby. Why do old guitars get so much? Because of the old wood. Oops, now I just got the tag stuck. So there you go. Two cool old vintage guitars that are still on the cusp of rising up in value and still under what some of their older brothers are crazy high now. These are still bargains on the marketplace. So there you go. Something for you.